unable to apprehend at all what is sublime and noble, only by the perpetual instilling and drenching of the reality that surrounds us, we can never have enough nature. Henry David Thoreau. Nature will bear the closest inspection. She will invite us to lay our eyes level with her smallest leaf and take an insect view of its plane. Transcendentalists believe that God was closely associated with nature and that you could find God in nature. Transcendentalists also believe that all people were born with inherent goodness, with a sense of right and wrong, and a need to do right. They believe that this was a part of God in man. Society is opinionated by nature, but there are occasions when it may be the highest duty of any man to act outside of parties and against the one with which he has himself been hitherto identified. And there may be many more occasions when his highest duty is to sacrifice some of his own cherished opinions for the sake of success of the party, which he on the whole believes to be right. Emerson believes society everywhere is a conspiracy against the manhood of every one of its members. Society is a joint stock company in which the members agree for the better securing of his bread to each shareholder, to surrender liberty and culture of the eater. Society was meant to go against the idea of an individual in order to pressure the opinion that was changed to avoid being victimized by society. The foolish consistency is the power that society holds over individuals. Transcendentalists believe that having your own opinion is important to society. Emerson explains in his essay Self-Reliance by saying, "Foolish consistency is the hobblocking of little minds." He means that only small-minded people would be foolish to refuse a change of a customary practice, or look at things in a similar way where their opinions are not being told. Emerson chooses to accept the idea of foolish consistency by staying true to one's own belief. Emerson stands by the concept that opinion matters. Speak what you think today in words as hard as cannonballs, and tomorrow speak what tomorrow thinks in hard words again, though it contradicts everything you said today. Even if the opinion changes, the new opinion should still be as strong as the last. It should be something you stand by and something you should fight for, no matter how foolish it is, and how many people disapprove of it. In Theodore Roosevelt's essay, Duties of American Citizenship, he talks about how people should adapt their ideas to others and modifying certain of his own theories and beliefs so as to enable him to stand on common ground with his fellows, practically compromising everyone's opinions into one. But this also sacrifices an individual's ideas. With compromising, one person must give up their opinions, and Emerson despises the idea of becoming a follower, which is what Roosevelt is referring to in order to create a perfect society. The essay Self-Reliance is mostly about nonconformity and individualism, showing that the idea is to trust thyself, that blindly following someone else's ideas is foolish and small-minded, only appreciated by the people being followed and leaving nothing for the follower. Emerson is not just talking about being consistent with other people's ideas, but to also not worry about being consistent with your own ideas. Self-reliance is what people always strive for. Society says to be your own person, but that isn't how it is. If you stand out, then you're looked at differently or shunned. People are not very self-reliant and will follow the followers of society. A person needs to do this his own way. If a man does not keep pace with his compassion, perhaps it is because he hears a different drummer. Let him step to the music which he hears, however measured or far away. When we go against what others think and say, we can be criticized and considered bad, just because people are scared of others who's different than they are. Is it so bad to be misunderstood? Pythagoras was misunderstood, and Socrates, and Jesus, and Luther, and Copernicus, and Galileo, and Newton, and every pure and wise spirit that ever took flesh. To be great is to be misunderstood. People need to stand up for their own personal morals and beliefs, no matter what others say. They should do something not because someone else does, but because they want to and they believe it is right. Don't be a follower and try to be like someone else. Make sure everything done and said is a personal belief. You will never amount to anything great if you just follow someone else. Go out and do what you believe for you, not for someone else. If an American is to amount to anything, he must rely upon himself and not upon the state. He must take pride in his own work instead of sitting idle to envy the luck of others. He must face life with result courage, win victory if he can, and accept defeat if he must, without seeking to place on his fellow men a responsibility which is not theirs. Civil disobedience is the act of disobeying a law on grounds of moral or political principle. According to Henry David Thoreau, the role of disobedience is caused from a person knowing from right from wrong. If the person feels like the law is affecting society in a negative way, then the person will contradict the government by disobeying their civil duties.